Hello, and welcome back to the Tea with Tina podcast. Today's episode, we're talking about flat stomachs and are they worth it? This is going to be a good one, a juicy one, and I have some thoughts. For those of you, this guy, I swear to God. We have the people who floor past my house with the big engines, and I hate it. So if you're somebody who has a big engine that revs it, I purposely don't look at you to not give you the satisfaction, just so you know. Okay? Anyway, that person probably just tuned out of the podcast, but anyway, for those of you on YouTube, have you been seeing the beautiful changes in the background? I have all my lovely plants. Just a little update. It's hot. It's the summertime at the time of recording. It's been humid. We only have window units for our AC, and we've had a lot of gnats. So we've been having a lot of gnats. I've actually been giving all of my plants, plant people don't kill me, but we've been giving them cactus soil mixed with a couple different things to try to keep them dry. And we've been really letting them dry out before we water them, because it's like they can go weeks without being watered, it seems like. Because then they'll get too much gnats and they start to brown and yellow, so we've been doing that. But they're all thriving, they're doing great. We have our plant lights for them. I went to TJ Maxx, I got my little skeleton neon light. It was like $12, it's beautiful. I went to the plant shop across from my new training studio in Stroudsburg, and I got a $5 mushroom poster, and my husband was sweet enough to do the wooden on the top and the bottom, and he did the cool kind of I don't know if you can see it, but he did the rope on the side. See the rope on the side? So I love it. Ooh, I got a low battery signal. That's not good. So let's try to make this quick, guys. But yeah, so I love my background. I'm so happy with my podcasting background. When I get a house, it's gonna be really bumping. We're gonna have neon signs, wallpaper. It's gonna be great. But anyways, let's just get into the topic, okay? So, are flat stomachs worth it? Let me tell you that my whole life I've hated my stomach. You know, everybody has that one thing that they hate, and I will say that I've hated my stomach the worst. Genetically, I come from a family that they tend to store fat in their abdomen. Like my dad, no legs, not in a bad way, just skinny, right? Skinny arms, skinny legs, stores fat in his abdomen. They refuse to go to the doctor, so I don't know if there's any underlying medical conditions, maybe. My mom, she will store fat in her abdomen, but she's always kind of been really, really lean. She also had hyperthyroidism, but she does store fat there. My sister, she was really obsessive over having a flat stomach, like us all, and she can store fat there. And same thing with my brother. My brother is a similar build to my dad. So some of it is a genetic component for sure. I really don't have any issues with anywhere else on my body except my stomach. I also have polycystic ovarian syndrome, so you tend to store more fat there due to insulin resistance. On top of the genetic makeup, I have the hormonal weird things going on, hormonal imbalances, sometimes some ovary pain, so I feel like I naturally get more bloated down there in the lower abdomen, so that's fun. So yeah, I've always kind of struggled with my stomach, but I've tried to make more peace with it, but I still find myself, because it's still there, that people will respond better if you have a flat stomach. Oh, let's not forget my genetic makeup. My anatomy makeup, I should say. I have very long legs and a short torso. So that does not help. That makes me wide and stumpy. There are people out there like me, and they don't care, and they don't have a flat stomach, or they don't have a six-pack, and my stomach is relatively lean for my size, but it's still my trouble spot, right? And I'm sure you have a trouble spot too, and if you're listening, you probably hate your stomach as well. But I want to kind of talk about it, and maybe some things about your stomach that you need to kind of learn to love a little bit more. And I think yoga has definitely helped me with this, because yoga, you're being more mindful. And something I noticed in yoga is that I actually get a lot of anxiety when I'm wearing my yoga stuff and you're folded. You can kind of feel your skin and your fat, right? Because you're very in tune with your body. And I've noticed that I actually truly get anxiety when I'm sitting there and I feel my stomach and I feel the rolls, or I feel if it's relaxed, you have to relax to breathe. And I've noticed that, and it's kind of interesting that I was kind of more aware of it. I made myself more aware of it. And I've also noticed if I come to yoga after eating dinner, because it's the time I have to go, I might have to eat dinner beforehand. If I feel full and I don't eat a super light meal, I will feel self-conscious because my stomach feels more full. And so I'm trying to work through that because in yoga and in breathing in general, it's really important to fully relax the stomach muscles. Relax the stomach muscles, let the belly hang out a little bit. You're gonna have a little bit of a belly. It's gonna be soft. You might have some rolls, it's okay. Because I feel like, I don't know about you, but when I grew up, it's like, I grew up around the low-waisted jeans. We had all these girls that had like no muffin top, flat stomachs on magazines and movies, whatever it may be. Everybody just had these flat stomachs. And I just felt the need that I had to squeeze myself into these tight pants, always suck in to get the smaller pant size, just walk around. I remember I would just from childhood would walk around with a flexed, sucked in stomach. And it's just like, that's just what you do, right? And I still do it to this day, even when I'm extra bloated, or I've learned to wear shirts or clothes that flatter me a little bit more on my bloated days as I've gotten older. But still, it's kind of like one of those things, you're like, oh my God. I get stuck sometimes where I wear like a more revealing thing and I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't realize how bloated I was. I gotta suck it in today. So yeah, that has been an issue. But there's a couple of things with females in particular that I think we need to cut ourselves some slack. So one, male versus female anatomy, totally different. We store our baby making organs down there, so naturally we are gonna have a little bit more of a pouch. Women who have had C-sections, women who have gave birth and their stomach was stretched out and they have the excess skin, like there's just so many things. Or if you are suffering from maybe a condition like endometriosis, or it's that time of the month and you're extra bloated, like we are just going to have more bloated stomachs. More recently too, eating, maybe you have a gluten intolerance or IBS, or you have a dairy sensitivity and you're not quite aware of it, bloated stomach. There's so many reasons to have a bloated stomach. It's crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. I've noticed if I do eat better quality foods and I take care of my body more, I tend to be less bloated. It's still there, but it does improve. So that is something to think about if you want to help with your bloating. But we can't deny the female anatomy and just our natural cycles contributing. Like that's just something I think if we made peace with more and normalized more, I think we'd be happier. And I think with social media, depending on who you follow and what you surround yourself with, you can see that out there. There are people that wear, crop tops with softer bellies, or the people who do the flexed versus unflexed or posed versus unposed pictures out there. They'll do the befores and afters, and they're these relatively lean girls that you look at, but then when they relax their bellies, they do have a little bit of a belly, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm like, oh, that's kind of like me. I'm that person. Because let me tell you, if I do relax my belly, which I don't know if I'm ever comfortable enough to share that on social media, I could look like 6 months pregnant if I wanted to. Just saying. It's just how it is. But I think with males, they can get beer bellies and stuff like that, but they tend to be more like, if they're working out and they're losing fat, they're gonna like consistently lose it everywhere. Like if they're gonna have a belly, it's gonna be that beer belly. And even then, like, are guys self-conscious about it? I don't know. Like they kind of just laugh about it. They're like, ah, he has a beer belly, and they walk around with their guts out and they don't care. Girls, we just have to be more put together. Just what it is. Something else to think about though is if you do want this lean stomach, this shredded six-pack, which by the way can be very genetic based if you have a six-pack or not. What is the cost of being lean enough to have a flat stomach? Because you have to get your body fat percentage pretty low. You have to really sacrifice what you're eating. You have to work out really, really hard, and to really remove all those fat layers to truly get those levels to show. And it's not sustainable. It's saying no to a lot of fun events out with friends, a lot of social outings, a lot of fun foods to have this flat stomach. And don't be fooled, because the 1% of people that you see that you know of or you see on social media that have like six packs, or they seem to live a normal lifestyle, somehow have a flat stomach. There are oddballs out there. You don't know if they have a fast metabolism. You don't know if they are struggling to put on weight. You don't know if they're a model and it's their job and they diet down and dehydrate themselves a couple days before a photo shoot, and then the rest of the time they look normal. You just don't know. And they use all those photos from their photo shoot for the next 6 months before their next photo shoot. There is a lot that goes into that. Not everybody walks around with a flat stomach. Even the Kardashians, I'm pretty sure all of them have gotten liposuction in their stomach. You can kind of tell by the way their stomach is and their belly button and the fat distribution. So, you don't know if they're using corsets, unhealthy methods. So that's something to think about. Now, is the cost of being lean worth it? Probably not. If you have some genetics, flaunt it, work with it. There's probably another part of your body you don't like. Maybe you hate that you're too skinny. Who knows? But I think we do need to normalize going back to relaxing our bellies. Even just right now, if you're sitting and nobody's around, just take a second. Relax your stomach. I know when I used to suck it in nonstop, when I actually relaxed it, it took a while to do it. It's almost like my muscles were so tense and used to sucking in that it didn't want to relax, right? Even though I tried to relax it. So sometimes you might have to think about it. And something to think about too is breath work. When we're breathing, when you breathe in, you actually want to push your belly out and expand your belly and fill it up like a balloon. And when you breathe out, that's kind of when the belly comes back in. So it's kind of the reverse of what you would maybe think it would be, but breathe in, expand the belly, breathe out and release all of that. And that's something you can learn if you want to get more into yoga and breath work. But breath work's really important just for everything. But something that I also stumbled upon with the flat stomach is that with the sucking in, pelvic floor health. Sucking in all the time is not good for your pelvic floor, and there's more and more research coming out about pelvic floor health, and I don't know why it's not talked about more. Everybody should be going, well, every female at least, I don't know about males, but every female should be going to pelvic floor therapy or getting educated about how to strengthen their pelvic floor so they're not peeing themselves, so they don't have any pelvic pain or issues or keeping tense muscles, and learn how to properly relax those muscles, properly breathe, because it's insane. It's not just for pregnancy, but I will say if you don't get it with pregnancy, there can potentially be a lot of issues down the road that make birth challenging, after birth challenging. So it's really interesting. There's a lot of research and more research coming out about it. But like I said, sucking in, wearing the tight pants, keeping all those muscles so tight in our pelvic floor and our stomach all the time is really not good for us overall. It keeps our stress high, makes us more prone to injuries, stiffness, tightness. So it's is it worth it, right? I don't think it is. I think we need to normalize a little bit of a pouch, a little bit of a belly, soft bellies. By all means, try to be healthy and keep a healthy body fat percentage and do the best for your body, but you shouldn't feel bad if your stomach is not flat or if you don't have a six-pack, right? That's kind of the message here. All right, but just a mini little chat for you today, guys. I know this was kind of a bit of a shorter one, but I thought it was kind of a fun little topic to chat about. All right, do you like your stomach? Do you have self-consciousness about your stomach? Can you relate to any of this? I want to know. If you're listening on YouTube, you can drop a comment below. I would love to chat with you. If you are on the podcast, feel free to message me or hop over to YouTube and leave a comment. Leave a review on the podcast. We'd love to see it. Or share with one of your friends. If you know your friend does not like her stomach either, share with her. All right. Soft belly gang. Soft belly girlies. Soft belly gang sounds kind of weird. Let's do soft belly girlies. We're going to peace out. Peace out. I don't know what that was. Peace out. We will chat soon. And I hope you have a great rest of your week, rest of your day. And bye for now.